and welcome to an Organized Chaos podcast. My name is Bobby Quarters. Chaos is here with me.
Hey.
Hey! So, we're here to talk about some movies, music, whatever else crosses our mind. But here is also the home of the most unbiased, genuine thoughts. We're not going to do anything just to say it, just to make money off of it, because we don't make a lot of money off this. In fact, we don't make anything. We just give our opinions. And our opinions are free and unsolicited, but they're not hateful ones. That is the important thing.
Yes.
But also, while you're here, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, that is Bobby Quarters, the podcast channel, Organized Chaos Podcast, and Chaos's channel while you're at it. So thank you for watching, and do enjoy.
We've already won. The question is, how much are you willing to lose?
Are you okay?
Being Superman it's harder than it used to be. It's much harder.
Good thing Clark's got such helpful friends.
Is this a dog?
No! What do you guys do? What's your favorite movie? Why do you wear glasses?
Clark!
Jimmy, if it's not an emergency, it really has to wait.
I say it's an emergency!
My Adventures with Superman.
You must prove you can party with men of steel.
The gods don't speak in ways we understand.
Who doesn't understand pain? Or blood? The gods told you.
Then I defy the gods.
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. Another podcast. Ashlene's joining us for this one. I made her sit through everything with me. It was quite abusive. Will you survive? Are you forever scarred?
I don't know.
It's sounding good. How are you doing, Bobby?
I'm doing okay. Doing all right.
Yeah. Well, we got some Last Airbender to wrap up talking about, and we got Odyssey. We got. Unfortunately, no one's talking bullshit about Odyssey right now online. So
they're kind of having their humble pie right now with it. So
Yeah, true. And then we also got a little bit of My Adventures with Superman to go over. But yes. Yes. I also just woke up from a nap, so give me a moment. But yes, she is traumatized. It's I feel privileged to have traumatized her.
You can see the pain in her eyes.
Are we ready to dive right in?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Avatar: The Last Airbender Season 2. This reminded me a lot of watching the animated series and how much I like the animated series. It's probably the best I could say about this. I feel like a broken record talking about this.
It definitely felt a lot like a rehash, which I was expecting it to be, but a little just lackluster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I wish I could say something more unique about the individual episodes and stuff like that. But we get to the library. It's like, oh yeah, I remember the library, and I remember Appa being taken, and then Toph having to essentially choose between saving Appa and saving the rest of the people, and choosing the rest of the people, and Aang getting upset about it. And I remember really liking that, and getting upset with Aang for getting upset with Toph about the whole thing. And here they're just kind of replaying it, and it's like, okay, yep, I remember that. And then Zuko and Katara having their night film meeting in the Earth Kingdom cell. Her offering to heal his wound and almost doing it, and then them getting into a big fight, and then him choosing to side with Azula and being disappointed with that. I remember that in the animated series. I remember liking it, and here it's like, oh yeah, that did happen. And then Uncle Iroh, of course, coming in and helping the Avatar because he is the best character by far. But yeah, I remember all this stuff. It's like, yeah, they're doing it again. Anything you guys want to talk about on this?
I mean, as I've said before, I just think that this is a very kind of lackluster and almost kind of spiritless show, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
I will say, just to say something that I normally don't say, because I feel like every time we talk about this, I just say the same thing, which is that I just don't think it's very good.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But I'll be a little bit more specific and say that I also think that this show is very compositionally uninteresting. The way that shots are laid out, I feel like is extremely repetitive and just not really appealing to watch. It doesn't really make you move your eyes or really around that much at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which doesn't help.
Well, I mean, it's not that's the thing about the show. It's not interested in finding its own identity, its own footprint in the Avatar universe. It just is let's do what the animated series did, but live action and not quite as good. And so they're just doing that. And it's like, okay. I mean, they're better than the M. Night Shyamalan movie, but fuck, man, that's a low bar. That's Bobby, anything you want to add?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've all kind of hit on the main points that I think we all agree on with this, that it's incredibly underwhelming, lackluster. Yeah, and like Ashlene said, visually, it's really not that appealing. I could find myself kind of watching the animated series and going wow, that town looks super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And here it's going, oh, they're embossing. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool. Neat.
I mean, that's one thing the animated series could do too. It's not limited by sets and stuff like that. And I guess to a degree, this isn't. It's just limited by blue screens, but.
They managed to pull it off with One Piece. I just don't know
why
this creative team is just dropping the ball.
No, well, I mean, having watched a lot of the anime with One Piece and being able to compare it, I can tell you differences in a lot of things they've changed, but they're largely faithful, but it still feels like its own entity. There's elements of the One Piece live action I think are better than the anime. There's elements I think are better in the live action. And then this, it's just across the board, it's better in the anime or in the animation. It's not anime.
You are the person that you parody.
I'm sorry. I slipped up. Yes. One Piece is anime. Avatar is, of course, not an anime. It's an American animation. But, yeah, the animated series is that's the thing. I don't even know what the point is of this is. The One Piece live action, is good for people who maybe don't want to watch the anime, or maybe even people like me who would be interested in the anime, but want something to dip their toes into, to dive into. This, are there actually people who haven't seen the animated series and go, oh, I guess I'll check out the live action. Oh, this is cool. I'll dive into this. I don't really think this is having that impact at all. it's definitely not having the same cultural impact that the One Piece live action is having. Yeah, and you know, comparing it to One Piece live action might not be completely fair, but like, it's the most noteworthy comparison. You know, it's an example of it being done right. Yeah. You know, and then, but yeah, this is a. How far am I in the One Piece anime? I think episode 116.
Terrifying.
I know. I'm like a tenth of the way through it too. Like most of the time, you'd be like, "Oh, wow, you're almost done." Then no, I'm not even close to done. But yeah, I'm a decent way into what season 3 would be, and I think if done correctly, the live action season 3 could be the best season yet. There's lots of cool stuff coming up. I'll just say that. But yeah. Yeah, One Piece is much better than this. Although, you know, I think comparing the animated series, I think I'd probably go, if I were comparing One Piece animated to Avatar Last Airbender animated, I'd probably go with Avatar Last Airbender.
I mean, to
but
be
live
fair,
action is not even close.
If you're gonna split the live action and the animated series of Avatar The Last Airbender, I mean, it's kind of a check in the column every single time for the anime being better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like even like the only redeeming quality of the live action show, in my opinion, which is Uncle Ira.
Yeah.
Anime still did it better. Yeah, he is great.
Yeah, no, I do love the actor's version of him. He does it differently than
he does.
Oh, God damn it! What's Mako?
Yeah. But like,
who was amazing in the animated version.
Even the scene where he's like, he was talking to Toph.
Yeah,
even that was done differently than the anime, just slightly, but just I still believed everything he was saying, and it was like still a great lesson he was teaching.
And if there were more, I don't think that the actors here are particularly bad. But I don't think they're carving enough their own name. I think the Uncle Ira actor is the only one coming close.
Yeah.
And I think if the other actors were doing something similar, this might have something original to.
There is one that I think is just is actually being very terrible. And I feel like it's just the actor. I don't know if it's like he's doing this by choice or if he's just following direction. But the actor who's playing Sokka.
I don't know. I think
he's playing too. I think he's playing it too safe.
Well, I think that's also the writing, because I know they made a big deal about wanting to tone down Sokka's sexism. They made a big deal about that, and it's like, you know, Sokka's sexism wasn't viewed as a negative thing in the anime, or it was viewed as a negative thing in the animated series. You know, it was treated.
But it was also something that he later learned a lesson and became a better person because of it, and it's became a defining character trait for him to be better.
Yes,
it made him more tolerable. But hey, okay, cool, whatever.
And I did feel like also like them kind of removing that aspect also made like some of the arcs that normally would have had like more to do. Like it just didn't really serve the purpose for his character arc that it would have normally, and so it didn't feel like as meaningful as it would have normally.
Exactly,
like, the whole thing with like where he met like the Kyoshi warriors and stuff like that. It didn't have the same. It just didn't work as well.
But yeah, the Alabasta in is the first true One Piece arc. So, yeah, I can kind of get the sense of that because like it's this big epic storyline. Like I guess like the biggest storyline before this would be East Blue, but that feels like 50 different storylines strapped together in one location. This actually feels like a huge epic storyline they're doing right now. But yeah, going back to Avatar, which is quite a bit less interesting than One Piece. But yeah, I guess comparing Avatar live action to One Piece anime is less interesting. I'll clarify that. But yeah, I don't feel the actors are carving enough their own like piece of this. I don't feel the direction is carving enough its own piece. Like this show doesn't seem interested in finding its own identity. Like I was even thinking about like maybe not adult, but like, you know, I was thinking this could maybe like if they wanted to do something go darker than the animated series did, you know, there's all types of routes this could have gone where it's like you're telling the same story, but you're doing it from like different viewpoints, different perspectives. And this series is just not interested in doing that. This screams just a series where it's like, we want to do a good job, but we want to like just do nothing that really like changes anything.
Kind of
and
bare
just
minimum okay.
yeah, and so it's happy just being okay rather than actually like go for something cool, and that's frustrating. I'm much more excited to watch the sequel movie that's coming out this Saturday, but yeah, this I'm not as pumped for. I guess one more season left, but I that's the thing. Like I was kind of hoping after season 1 that like this series would like find its footing and like decide to do something unique for season 2, and then season 2 is just kind of just feels the same as season 1. I don't know what else to say. It is a series that is happy just being fine, and I find that frustrating and boring. Anything else you guys want to add?
No.
Just so meh.
Yeah, just very meh, man. Are we ready for My Adventures with Superman?
Yeah.
Okay, I know we watched this, Ashlene, but I didn't really get your take on this. What was your take going through this first half of season 3? As someone who hasn't seen season 1 but watched season 2 with me.
I was joking with him. I was like, I'm gonna watch every season of this show before I watch season 1. The whole thing's gonna come out, and I'm gonna be like, "Yippee! Time to watch the first season."
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a cute show. I don't really have like, I guess I'd say like super strong opinions on it, but I think like it works very well for what it is. It's I think it's very quality children's programming. I guess what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Bobby, I don't know if you got a chance to catch up with season 2 or if you just did recaps.
I did.
What was your thought kind of diving into this?
This is a fine show. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this first half was pretty good. I was kind of surprised Kara was there, but then again, I didn't watch season 2.
Yeah.
So,
I will say Kara was the best part of season 2 by a decent margin. But yeah, I did like seeing Kara actually being a major cast member in this season, which she wasn't in season 2. She was just I want to say she was in like half the episodes, which fun fact, you look up the episodes she's in, those are easily the best episodes of the series so far, in my opinion, in season 2. This season, I think, is so far going off to a stronger start than season 1 or even the beginning of season 2. I don't think it's as good as the end of season 2, though, quite yet. Maybe it'll pick up, but like it's doing some, it's definitely doing some darker stuff than well, no, season 2 got pretty dark, so maybe it's not doing darker stuff, but it's keeping on that same wavelength of doing some darker stuff along with the goofy kitty stuff. Like, the beginning of the season is lots of Jimmy and Kara and them not asking each other out to go out on a date, which is very silly, and they're kids, so it makes sense. But yeah, it is kind of like, okay, guys, you can just ask each other out, come on. What was it? Yeah, Jimmy goes on a dating show and stuff like that. It's like, okay, Jimmy, and of course he goes on a date with a super villain, of course. But yeah, it's mainly this half this season. I didn't realize episode 6 would be out yet, and I was like, well, let's watch episode 5 and see if that's a good round off point, or see if we should just watch episode 6. And then we watch episode 5. It's like, okay, yeah, it's a good ending point right there before we go into the rest of the season. But yeah, we're doing a lot with Hank Henshaw and the modifications that Lex Luthor has done to him to make him like a Superman-like character. And now Hank is kind of going insane and becoming the big villain. And the last episode was a big fight between them. Pretty cool stuff overall. Like I think, yeah, I kind of agree with Ashlene. Like I think it's quality children's programming. I wish Evan seems to watch it when it's on, but he never seems to go out of his way to watch it. But yeah, I think if you have kids, this is a solid show to give them. But yeah, this is just a fun, entertaining show for the most part. That occasionally has an episode where I'm like, oh, that was very cool. I like how they handled it. But most of the episodes are just kind of fun and entertaining is where I'm at with this so far. Any specific details you guys want to dive into?
Not particularly.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think you summed it up very well.
Well, goddamn it, I'm not supposed to sum it up that well.
Stop being good at describing things.
I'm sorry. I'll suck. So, like, there's a guy with an S on his chest. He goes by Sus Man, something like that. He's sus, right? I'm trying to give you guys stuff to correct me on. But yeah, no, this is a fun show. It works. I guess. Are we ready to dive right into Odyssey?
Yeah.
Okay. Christopher Nolan's Odyssey. We all know this is woke garbage. We don't need to really talk about it because obviously, there's a black person in it. There's black people in it and a trans man. So obviously, it's all garbage. We don't need to talk about it. It's all woke. Just the worst movie ever. F-. Does that seem like a fair review, guys?
Yeah.
No bias whatsoever.
Yeah, no. So the Odyssey is obviously an epic poem from Homer. Is Homer a real person or just a collection of just stories passed down from generation to generation? We have no fucking idea. But yeah, this is a story that's been passed around forever. I know my dad was a huge fan of this. I attempted to read it. The language of the version I had was a little bit too old for my taste, but I read a chunk of it back in the day. It's been a while though. So diving back into this, I remember being like, oh yeah, there's little bits I kind of remember, sure. But yeah, obviously it's the story of Odysseus. He was off in the Trojan War. It's 10 years after the Trojan War. He hasn't returned home yet. They knew he survived the Trojan War, but he hasn't returned home, so they're just kind of assuming he is dead. He has a house full of suitors who are just ready to marry his wife and take over his kingdom. His wife has to complete this what is it they called it?
A shawl.
She was knitting something.
Burial shroud.
Yeah, a burial shroud. She has to finish knitting it before she can pick his suitor, and she is taking her good sweet time. Obviously it's been 10 years, so yeah, it's been a while. Suitors will just come there every night, just waiting to essentially marry her. He has his son played by Tom Holland, who wants to find out what actually happened to his father. But if he is dead, he has a claim to the throne, and his mother Penelope, played by Anne Hathaway, is like, yeah, you should stay here where you're safe. You have a target on your back if you go out there.
I like how the pictures are just kind of repeating.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially when the movie has just come out. Oh, is that the Cyclops?
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. Okay, so they actually had a dude kind of standing in for the Cyclops. That's kind of cool. But anyways, yeah. So essentially we have Odysseus, who is we get to catch up with his story, figure out why he's been gone for so long, and his adventures getting back. We have Tom Holland, was it Telemachus?
Yeah, Telemachus.
Yeah.
I know. I did think it was kind of funny. I think you said he has his son called Tom Holland.
Yeah, his son is named Tom Holland. Everybody knows that.
His
son is Spider-Man. No. So obviously this is Christopher Nolan kind of I feel like with every movie he's been pushing himself, and I kind of respect it. Because he definitely has weaknesses as a filmmaker, and I wouldn't call this perfect, but I feel like he is trying to address a lot of his weaknesses. But I overall enjoyed this quite a bit. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I liked it. I'd say I think that there were some good performance. I thought that Lupita Nyong'o's performance was very good, especially considering
very
how
limited
little
screen time
she had in the film. I will say, if I'm to come out with a critique, the main thing that comes to mind right now is that I think that some of the designs are kind of ugly.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair as well. Bobby, what are your thoughts?
I felt some of the pacing was atrocious.
You see, I was kind of on board, but
yeah.
I mean, it is a very long movie, so you kind of have to brace yourself for that.
Yeah, and I know that, and I knew that walking in, but I really didn't think he needed to do the far wide establishing shot as often as he did.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah, but
that's mostly why, because they would do that a lot during scenes of dialogue where they would say the line and then do those wide, like standing shots, and it's just kind of like, oh my god, just get to the fucking point already. Like, you're killing me.
But it's epic, Bobby. It's epic.
It's okay. It was okay. It was okay. I felt it was very mid at best, but it was okay.
I think I probably liked it more than you then. But
that's
I mean,
fair.
I think my two big complaints I've really come away with walking away from this is the Cyclops and the sea creature. I think they looked very good. They looked like they were actually interacting, so I thought they looked very good on that. It looked like they were actually interacting with the real world. I thought their designs were ugly. I did not like their designs at all.
I will say I mainly wasn't into the designs for the like the armor. That's fair though too.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the armor was all right, but yeah, it's not, to my understanding, it's not particularly authentically Greek, but most of this isn't authentically Greek. But
I did kind of find it funny for how much anger Elliot Page's casting caused for how little he's in the fucking movie at all.
Oh yeah, no, Elliot Page is not like Elliot Page. Like, listen, the two actors who got like the most shit for being in this movie were Lupita Nyong'o and Elliot Page. Two actors who are not in very much of the movie, and in my opinion, make the most of their limited screen time and do a good job. It's like when they're in there, it's like, oh well, I get why they were cast. Shit, they did a good job with what they had, which wasn't that much.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude who Hamish Patel, the second in command of Odysseus on his voyage home, he gets more screen time than both of them. At least I'm pretty sure he does. He's in there a decent bit.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah. Jesus, yeah. The other big critique I would give this, and this is mainly levied more. I think the acting in here was fairly solid. But there is exposition heavy segments. I think the ones who bear the burden of that the worst are Tom Holland and especially John Bernthal. When John Bernthal pops up, he is tasked with just delivering exposition pretty much to Tom Holland. And it feels like it in certain scenes. And I love John Bernthal as an actor. I think he's great. But like, I think, even though like I think most performances here are quite good, they were tasked with the unenviable task of just delivering exposition, and it felt like it. I'm trying to think who my favorite performances is. I thought Robert Pattinson was great as the sleaziest of the suitors. Anne Hathaway I thought was quite good as well as Penelope. I'm trying to think who really stood out. Those are probably the two I'm thinking stood out. John Leguizamo's getting a lot of conversation online, and yeah, he did really well as well. Shout out to the dog. I love the dog in this. R.I.P. dog. Yeah. I mean, let's see, but yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, honestly, I thought the acting here was fairly good. I think the visuals, I think he's definitely going for a very epic vibe for this. I think he pulls it off decently well, in my opinion. But there's a lot of moving parts in here, but like he does get it flowing together, so it's very easy to understand and flow together. And like I keep on saying on social media, it's obviously Americanized, guys. Yeah, they're speaking in a lot of older tongue, but like it's not. It's designed to be easily understood by everybody.
I mean, to be fair, are they speaking in older tongue when they speak English the whole movie?
True.
So I was like, what did you mean?
Well, I mean, older style, but yes. But yeah, they aren't speaking like ancient Greek, which is like, yeah, people are like, I won't. Well, I mean, the big news today was that Elon Musk said he wanted to redesign Grok to make a fucking historically accurate version of this. And it's like, it's a fucking fictional story, you dumb fuck. Of course, if you've been paying attention to the conversation about this, he's been one of the loudest voices being like, oh my God, it's terrible what they're doing to the Odyssey. It's so historically inaccurate. It's like,
I highly doubt he's read the Odyssey.
No, I don't think he has, because he's a dipshit. He's a dipshit. But yeah, oh yeah, there's John Leguizamo. Athena was kind of interesting in this. So like, less conversation, although there has been a little bit of conversation over Zendaya as Athena. And there's kind of a question of whether or not she is Athena or not. Zendaya? Yes. Oh, okay. I apologize.
It's fine.
I'll leave now.
It's not that big of a deal.
It is a big deal. I will live now in shame. But yeah, we see that we actually see at the end of the movie, she was one of the victims during the sacking of Troy. And yeah, there's a question, you know, is Athena taking her form and speaking to Odysseus? Is this just a vision he's seeing of the young woman that was killed at Troy? None of these things need an answer, and they're not answered, which, you know, I think works quite well. But yeah, I thought that was kind of an interesting twist to throw in there. Yeah, I enjoy this a fair bit. I thought this was good. I think Christopher Nolan, I respect Christopher Nolan. I don't think I want to make it clear. I'm not one of these, like, well, I think I might be the biggest Christopher Nolan fan of the three on panel here. I don't think he's a flawless filmmaker at all. I think he has lots of weaknesses as a filmmaker, but I kind of respect that he's kind of pushing himself in a lot of ways. Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe just because they worked together a bit, and I you know, they rose up at the same time. I have a tendency to compare Christopher Nolan to Zack Snyder a lot. Plus, they also have rabid fan bases, and yeah, Christopher Nolan I at least respect for pushing himself. Zack Snyder just makes shitty Star Wars knockoff now, and I'm like, fuck off. Anything you guys want to add?
I will say I thought that the instrumentation was kind of interesting for this, because it's not really like, I think it worked, but it wasn't really like what I would have expected it to be at all.
Mm-hmm. Are you talking about for like the score and stuff like that?
Yes. I mean, no,
okay.
I'm talking about the instrumentation of the walls.
Okay.
But yeah, it was very like synthy, I guess I'd say, which wasn't as previously said. I didn't expect it, but I thought it worked.
Mm-hmm. Wow, this is very redundant in the pictures. Well, the behind the scenes kind of interesting. I'm not really interested in the fucking actors on the red carpet, which this, like, IMDb will get loaded with those, and it's like, I don't care. Yeah. Behind the scenes can be interesting, but yeah. But yeah, I did like the flashbacks to the sacking of Troy. I thought that was well done. The way they did the Trojan horse, where it was just kind of, it looked, instead of it being like presented as like a gift, it looked like just something that was abandoned, which is why I think that was kind of an interesting way to present it. Because yeah, it does allow the Trojans to be like, oh, they left this, let's check it out. You know, I could see that a bit more than just them leaving something at the doorstep, be like, oh, let's bring that in. You know, I thought it was a good way, interesting way to retell it.
I'm gonna like reveal my my sometimes maybe questionable media literacy here.
Yes,
because you know, like the whole thing where they had like the scene where it's like they alternate between like the part where they're cutting down the statue of Athena and the part where they're like attacking Zendaya, I suppose.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So my initial read of that scene, when I like went like on the internet afterwards and I saw all the reads where it's like, oh, it's the lady and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, when I initially read that, I did not read it in that way whatsoever. I thought that it was like just the visual just another visual representation of them cutting down the statue,
mm-hmm.
with sort of it being marked by Odysseus's personal relationship to Athena in the way that he saw it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of funny. Well, I came to a completely different conclusion than everyone else.
I think there's lots of different reads. I think it's purposely a bit ambiguous. I can't speak. Ambiguous on purpose.
I kind of.
But yeah, there's lots of different reads you could get on
the way that everyone else read it.
But yeah. Yes. So I mean, there's even an argument I could see to be made that. I was like, maybe it's just a young girl who was there, and Odysseus just feels guilt over that. But there's also the argument of maybe that girl was Athena. Gods do shit like that. Just take human form and go on Earth. I
will say, just to reemphasize what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
When I read that, I didn't read that as though Athena was there as a person. I thought that was just how he saw the statue being chopped down.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, he saw the statue as her as a person.
Yes.
That's an interesting read. I haven't thought of that read before. I kind of like it. That could work too. So like we see the statue, and when they go to strike, we do a hard cut to a statue being struck down before she's struck down.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I like that. That works too. That's a cool read. Oh yeah, so the Chud reads are hilarious on this, and it's getting kind of frustrating because it's like this isn't a perfect movie. There are critiques to be made of this fucking movie. Absolutely. Again, Christopher Nolan's exposition heavy, which is one of his weaknesses. His visuals could be a lot stronger. Again, one of his weaknesses. But then you go online and then people are talking about how wonderful Troy was in the aughts. And it's like, guys, as someone who enjoyed Troy back in the day, it is not a brilliant movie. Relax. It is in my opinion, it was a fun popcorn movie, but like just stop. And then seeing all the dumb takes on Troy now, it's like shut up. And I actually saw somebody getting really upset because the Odyssey wasn't about Achilles. And I'm like, were you upset when Obi-Wan Kenobi wasn't a major character in Empire Strikes Back too? Like, are you paying attention?
They were really hyped up for the fake movie they made up in their minds that starred Elliot Page as Achilles.
Yes.
They were so excited, but they can't admit it.
Yeah. No, that's secretly what they wanted. They wanted the Achilles solo movie starring Elliot Page. Some of the takes have been outrageously bad, and across the board, the Chudosphere has been taking L's on this one. They lost Rotten Tomatoes. Like all the scores are pretty positive on this, so they lost all that. It's made a ridiculous amount of money. Is projected to bring in tons more. Chuds are illiterate. What? Well, here's the frustrating thing. Chuds have gotten really vocal on the internet, and that's the frustrating thing. It used to be ignore them, but yeah. Anything you guys want to add?
I will say I think that I had a pretty positive experience with this movie. It kind of reminded me because I did read sections of the Odyssey in school, and so it was kind of cool to see them in front of me, not as words. But yeah, I'd say I had a good time. I enjoyed myself. Definitely not a perfect film, but I liked it.
Yeah,
I had a good time in the theater.
Mm-hmm. You know what this movie actually did get me wanting to watch some, and it's not even really what because it's done in such a different style. This is done so much serious in the movies, but I maybe kind of want to rewatch those old like Ray Harryhausen movies like Jason and the Argonauts and stuff like that. Much cheesier movies that I really enjoyed as a kid. Did you ever watch those ones, Bobby?
Yes, I have.
Well, what are your thoughts?
I enjoy them thoroughly.
Yeah, God, it's been probably decades since I watched them, but I'm like, yeah.
I mean, at the time, it still showed groundbreaking filmmaking techniques.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ, yeah.
Any film that shows innovation in filmmaking, I enjoy.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Jason and Argonauts, the whole skeleton fighting scene. Oh my God, I just remember fucking loving that as a kid. That was so fucking cool. Yes, Harryhausen is a legend. And yes, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Awesome movie as well. I was just disappointed they never cast Sean Bean as Odysseus like in Troy. You know what I think was funny, because I remember watching Troy and seeing Sean Bean pop up as Odysseus, and I remember thinking, I'm confused. Does Odysseus live? Is he gonna die? But yeah, no, I enjoyed this. So like we weren't really sure what to do for pop culture. I suggested I don't know, we could do kind of a general discussion of Christopher Nolan's filmography, which is we can get into it a bit. But yeah, I think again, among the three of us, I think I'm probably the biggest fan. Because I remember when I was younger, I really loved Memento and the Dark Knight movies. Although I will say, as I've gotten older, the Dark Knight movies upon rewatch have not aged perfectly for me. I haven't seen Memento for years, and yeah. I really like Inception, but that was a kind of that one's probably the movie I think suffers the most from Christopher Nolan's excessive exposition issue, because it's like, holy shit, he's
yeah. I kind of feel like he's insulting
his.
I kind of feel like he's insulting his audience with that one.
I feel like he
if they
like,
didn't have to explain how dreams worked with the introduction of every single character, it would have been a great movie. But that
There's
alone,
cool
I've watched it fully, but the first time I watched it, that part, just how they kept doing it, was like really kind of pissing me off when I was watching it go. I was like, I'd really like it if they just got to the actual plot as opposed to just explaining how this works. They spent more time doing that in the movie than actually dream investigating.
I mean, I want to say that movie's like 2.5 hours long, and I want to say they might spend like an hour 15 minutes literally doing exposition dumps on how the dream world works, and it's like, holy shit, can we see it in action rather than explain it?
Or they would stop the action just to have more pointless dialogue. Like it's just it's really where my frustrations for Nolan started, is with Inception.
I can get that, and
but I enjoyed Memento.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen it. I love
Batman.
How that one's done,
I enjoyed most of the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah,
I feel that outside reasons hurt the third one, and they did their best to recover it. But I feel that it just dropped the ball and fell really flat, which is also why I'll say, like, that's the third one is probably the worst one out of the three.
Oh, I think most people would agree with that.
I think the first one is probably the best one.
Yes, I know when I first watched them, I would definitely argue the second one was the best one. But as time has gone by,
I've tried to look at the second one subjectively and not think of it as like, a immortalization of one of Heath Ledger's last performances. I just try and look at it as a movie, because I kind of feel like, and this is just going to sound really insensitive, and I don't mean for it to, but I feel like that movie got way more hype because he died.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It has more of that, like, I guess, like level of that high regard that it has because of that. And looking at it just subjectively as just a superhero movie, it's all right.
Yeah,
it's serviceable. I think that he shot himself in the foot a lot with that one, because I argue, because I think that they shouldn't have killed Harvey Dent off so quickly and easily as they did.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
That hurt the story terribly, because it's clear that Joker was supposed to come back in the third one, and it's a convoluted mess. And
yes,
I just and I guess like how he wrapped those up really kind of made me go, God, you're just frustrating. I can't stand Interstellar. It's another one that suffers from the dialogue, and I feel like he insults his audience by explaining too much.
Interstellar is an interesting one. Like, I even have the fancy steel book of that, and the same with Tenet. And I think I've seen Tenet twice and Interstellar once, and it's been years since I've watched them. And like, I remember watching them, be like, well, this is fine. Well, I remember thinking Interstellar is fine. Tenet I had to watch twice just to kind of get what he was going for, because that is so fucking convoluted. And the second time I watched, like, okay, I see what you're going for. I don't really see how it's entertaining though.
I didn't even give Tenet a shot because I was just frustrated after Interstellar.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but I do feel like with I would say with Oppenheimer and with Odyssey, he's kind of entering kind of a new phase where I feel like as a filmmaker he has evolved. Like I still won't argue like he's like the perfect filmmaker at all. Some people do argue with that, and it gets a little frustrating on that end. He is a guy who I think really enjoys the craft of filmmaking and is developing as a filmmaker, and that is always good. Yeah, I do think Oppenheimer and Odyssey are two probably of his best. Although going back to the Dark Knight trilogy, Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, I think, have better action scenes because that's the biggest weakness of Batman Begins, in my opinion. The action scenes in that are very just cobbled together. But I also think of the three, it's the one that has aged the best. And overall, I think that's the best of the trilogy.
And I'm not even like the biggest fan of these Batman movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying that I feel like Batman Forever and Batman and Robin are better movies by far, but I think that Matt Reeves nailed more of Batman in one scene with the Batman than Nolan did in 3 movies.
I mean, I was gonna say, I think the Batman does like an amazing job. Well, the Batman, I think, is the first time we had a live action Batman movie. Well,
who was the world's greatest fucking detective? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That really gets Batman. Because I think the only other movies where Batman really gets to take center stage are Batman Begins and The Batman. All the other ones I feel get overshadowed by the villains by quite a bit. And I hope Matt Reeves knows how to keep Batman kind of more in the center and, do his trilogy kind of based on more of the Batman stuff. Because my biggest complaint of Matt Reeves' Batman is I just think it's overlong. If you cut like a half hour from that, it's like probably like the perfect Batman movie, in my opinion. Stylistically, it looks great. I think it understands the character better than a lot of the other movies. Yeah, I think the Batman is actually really good. Batman 89, not a perfect movie either, but like I fucking love Michael Keaton's Batman in that. Holy shit.
Batman Returns, he straight up kills a guy
with a smile on his face. That is the fucked up thing about it. Yeah. Have you heard about Memento, Ashlene? I see chat talk about Memento a bit.
There's a very real likelihood that I've seen it and I've just dumped it from my brain.
I
do that a lot.
I actually don't know if I've watched it since you've been born, so it's been a few years since I've seen it.
I most likely haven't seen it.
So I will give you the plot line. You can tell me if you're interested. So Memento is a story about a guy looking for revenge for the death of his wife who was murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the kicker. He has a short-term memory loss, complete short-term memory loss. So he has to constantly keep notes and records and stuff like that to keep on track to figure out what he's doing.
I think I might have seen this movie actually.
It is kind of a wild trip of a movie.
It is a wild ride of a movie.
Yeah. It's pretty fast paced, and there's definitely some wild stuff going on.
The first time I saw it, I had to watch it twice just to go because it ended. I go, okay, wait, I need to what?
Yeah. So, and one of the things they do in order to tell the story is they tell it backwards.
Yeah, I do think that would be better.
Yeah, considering what is, yeah.
So just be like, oh, now he has to remember the thing I just saw.
Yeah, no, it's not him remembering the thing he just saw because you're learning it almost. I think that's the kind of the clever way to tell that because it's the only way to really tell it because. Otherwise, you're just repeating stuff over and over again. As it is, you're essentially going backwards in time and learning the information backwards. But yeah, I enjoyed Memento quite a bit. Maybe rewatch it sometime. So Memento and Ray Harryhausen stuff. Need to rewatch that stuff sometime. One movie of his I have never seen. That a lot of people say is really great. Following. I've never seen Following. Have you seen Following, Bobby?
No, I have not.
Yeah, that is a blind spot for me in Christopher Nolan's filmography. I think I've seen most of the other ones though. I know people love Prestige. I was not a massive fan of it. I thought it introduced interesting ideas. Maybe if I rewatch, I would like it more. But yeah, I know that was one where people were talking about how brilliant it was, and it was kind of driving me insane because like it's just kind of a fun gimmick, guys. If you don't know, Prestige is about two magicians, Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale, who are kind of competing with each other. Although it's mainly Hugh Jackman competing with Christian Bale. Christian Bale is kind of just doing his own thing the whole time. But yeah, Christian Bale develops this trick where he can essentially teleport himself from one place to another. So Hugh Jackman enlists Nikolai Tesla to essentially invent a machine that does that. And kind of the trick to it is, I guess, going a bit into spoilers on here, is that it doesn't actually teleport. It makes a copy of him and sends him to the other place, and then the original is killed. And like lots of people wanted to treat that like that was super deep, and I just was like, I don't know. What's your thought on Prestige, Bobby?
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Yeah. That was the first one where
it was one of those copycat movies, man.
Yeah.
Because The Illusionist came out shortly around the same time, and they were like pretty much the same movie.
Yeah. I feel like lots of people. I remember actually, maybe this is controversial. I remember enjoying The Illusionist more.
Well, yeah, because Edward Norton was in it, and Edward Norton is a phenomenal actor.
That's true. But
difficult to work with, but a phenomenal actor.
True. No argument on that one. But yeah, everybody hyped up Prestige, and I at that time I was big into Christopher Nolan, so I was willing to check it out. And I was like, that kind of underwhelmed me. But yeah, I'll also admit I haven't seen either of those movies since they came out, so it's been a while. Maybe rewatching it. But I'm trying to think, is there any Christopher Nolan movie that we haven't really broached upon? I think that might be about it. Can you guys think of anything we haven't brought up?
No, I can't think of any.
Yeah, I don't even know what I would consider my favorite. I'll be honest. Trying to think. Maybe rewatching it. Maybe Memento would be up there.
Yeah, probably that one.
I don't know. I think Odyssey was pretty solid, but I don't know. Yeah. I also kind of want him to age a little bit because I remember loving the Dark Knight movies so much more, and then as time's gone by, I've been like,
I also kind of dislike him because they started that trend of making the Batmobile like a giant tank, and I just think it looks ugly.
Yeah.
You might as well just give Batman a Cybertruck.
I mean, it's worth saying.
I've always hated the tank look of the Batmobile.
Yeah, and I feel like Zack Snyder tried to do a mix between the Tim Burton and the tank, and I wasn't a huge fan of that one either. The Tim Burton Batmobile is the best one by like a mile. I'm just saying that right now. I'm just
and out of the two Schumacher ones, Forever, that Batmobile was much better.
Oh yeah,
much
well,
cooler.
I mean,
but those were made to sell toys, and we have to remember that.
Everything's worse than Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin, just like, oh god,
they had the back card. The nipples were even worse.
True. Yes. Yeah, Batman Forever introduced the nipples. Batman and Robin made them worse.
Somehow made them worse.
Yeah, I don't even know how. It was a terrible idea, but somehow they're worse now. Let's see. Well, here, let me go ahead and dig up next week.
I already got it up right here.
Oh, well, you're showing off already.
Yeah,
we got queued up.
It's called being prepared.
We are being prepared.
Well, prior proper planning prevents a piss poor performance, Robert. Evil Dead Burn is what we have next week, along with the new Avatar, Aang, The Last Airbender. And we're watching another sequel in the Raimiverse, Spider-Man 2.
Ooh! I wonder how those Spooner Man movies are going to turn out.
Spooner Man.
Yeah, I've never seen those before. Never seen.
Like it was an option.
Yeah, no,
No,
that's
it's
a great
not, Chris.
movie,
It
so,
is
yeah.
an accurate assumption, and I will gladly die on that hill. I've seen somebody soup up their Cybertruck. There's a guy around here who got it in this charcoal black, and around Halloween he put these like little fake fins and stuff on it, made it look like a Batmobile, and had like a Batman shirt and stuff.
I think I want to hurl. I mean, somebody who would get a Cybertruck would be like, "I'm Batman." I can see that. God.
Oh, it's like those people who drive the Teslas but have the stickers that say, "I'm in the anti-Elon Tesla club," then sell your car.
Yeah.
But,
like, I can get people who have the older Tesla and disliking it, but like, yeah, for me, Cybertruck is just like, okay, you bought it after Elon Musk is a clear and obvious douchebag. Although
Panzermobile.
I will be honest, I always thought he was kind of a douchebag, but like, yeah,
my main reaction always, like, somebody was talking, a friend of mine was talking once about him, like, he's Elon Musk, man. I go, who? Elon Musk? You don't know who he is? No. Why should I give a fuck?
Yeah.
It's like, he's super rich. Again, I don't care. Cool. Is he doing any good with that? He's gonna save the world with technology. How is he going to do that?
Jesus Christ.
You just don't understand it, bro. Clearly, and I'm happy I don't.
Anybody who has as much money as Elon Musk has skeletons in their closet, and yeah, if they didn't have skeletons in their closet, they wouldn't have that much money. They wouldn't have that much money.
And then I did digging on how his family got the money.
Yes.
And found out the whole emerald mining and all the other great stuff that they did. And yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, Bobby. Elon Musk made all his money through hard work, gumption, dedication, and a massive blood diamond mine his dad left him.
No, Chris. No, because he lacks depth and warmth. So I wouldn't call him the C word.
I brought up Tenet. I did not forget Tenet.
Yes,
it is.
We talked about Tenet.
Yeah,
I think it is fine.
We did. It's okay.
I think it is. It's not one of my favorites, but yeah,
it may seem like I'm crapping on Nolan a lot, but trust me, there's directors I hate far more than him.
Oh yeah,
he's okay. He's just.
He's overrated.
I just find that he is painfully. He's painfully overrated, and it's just. I just
listen, if you're gonna give a blank check to a director and have them do whatever they want, I would much rather give it to Christopher Nolan than Zack Snyder. I'll always die on that hill.
I always would, because sometimes we can get Batman Begins, and then we can get Rebel Moon 2.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, I mean, what would you rather, Odyssey or Rebel Moon? This is not
2. No, just Rebel Moon 2.
No, Rebel Moon 2, the fucking director's cut.
Oh, the extended Snyder cut, which will be in black and white, which no one asked for that.
Yes.
I remember I forced myself to watch all of it, all of that Snyder cut in black and white. And
yes, we did. I did not watch the whole black and white one, though.
The only thing that I found that it was cool in was the first fight. I guess it looked okay, but it didn't look as distracting and nauseating CGI as it did in color, or at least the first fight that was on Wonder Woman's home planet.
Oh, Themyscira.
Themyscira, thank you. Yeah, and I also kind of really hated that. Wow, they had Martian Manhunter and just messed it up right out of the gate. Right out of the gate, they messed this up.
Well, I mean, Zack Snyder always says he intended Justice League to be black and white, and I always call fucking bullshit on it. Because if he intended to be black and white, explain the point of the black Superman suit. Because if you watch that in black and white, you don't fucking know it's a black Superman suit. It might just be his normal suit.
Explain why we spent so much time in Atlantia then.
Yeah.
So you wanted that to be all in black and white. That underwater, colorful. Okay, Zachary.
No, it strikes me that
he's like a Michael Bay Jr. without the explosions.
it really strikes me
But
that
he just stories boards with his toys. Sorry.
He's following up on like George Miller and Mad Max 4 and him doing a black and white version, and then James Mangold and Logan doing a black and white version. He's like, well, I'm going to do a black and white version of my movie. It's like, yeah, but like, you do know those movies are a lot better than your movie, right?
I mean, I would watch Logan. I'm sorry, I just call it Old Man Logan because that's really what that movie was.
That's what it's based on. But yeah,
it was totally Old Man Logan, and yes, I would have been okay with that being in black and white.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
I also would have been okay with it if they gave it that like kind of old 70s Wild West grain to the film.
Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would have been like.
Well, I mean, what's amazing about that movie is like when you watch it, it's obviously set in like the near future. Like there's like you like they even went to trouble like all the trucks on the highway are like cabinless or obviously driving themselves and stuff, like little details like that they didn't have to do. So it's obviously set in the near future. And, you know, there's obviously like cities and stuff like that. But despite all that, they also give it this old West vibe that I think works very well. It's kind of creative how they do it. Yeah,
it's kind of like how those old Kurosawa films will like definitely inspired, you know, Sergio Leone to do all those Western movies from the 70s. But like you could watch those old Kurosawa like samurai movies and just see like the inspiration for Westerns in there. And it's very cool. Very cool. I recently watched Seven Samurai in between this past week just because I saw it was available. You go, ooh, I'm gonna watch that because that's a great movie.
I have not seen Seven Samurai.
Oh, dude.
I'll say I'm actually not familiar with any of Kurosawa's movies, although I've heard he's great.
Yeah, I've heard.
Oh my god, yeah, definitely worth watching if you are a film buff. And like you could like watch those, and you could see inspiration from at least you could name 5 directors on one hand.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, he's supposed to be one of those incredibly influential guys. But yeah. Anything you guys want to add before we sign out? The polls are still up. We have Sam Neill.
Yes. Yeah. We do have 2 different polls up. Thank you for reminding me.
And then you also have the douchebag poll. So there's technically 3 polls.
Well,
up,
we have it's 2, but
yeah,
I had to split it into one. We have the scumbag part 1 and 2. And then there's the Sam Neill one, which right now it looks like it is a 50-50 tie for the Sam Neill one between The Mouth of Madness and Event Horizon. No one's voted for Hunt for Red October.
That's sad.
And for
I didn't vote for it,
and for the scumbag poll part 2, it looks like Christopher McDonald is leading the pack with 50% of the vote. Clancy Brown and James Spader have 25% of it respectfully, and we have a dead heat tie for part 1. Henry Sensries and Jesse Plemons, as well as William Atherton, are all tied with 33% of the votes for the first one.
Nice. All right, guys, make sure to go vote on that. I plan to be live on Saturday, so I'll cover some comic books and chuds on Saturday. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, not just to whatever channel you're watching on, but visit all the other channels. You got Bobby Quarters over there. Ashlene doesn't have a channel, but she might at some point. Make sure to give it some support.
Just like send me money.
Well, send me money too.
No, just me.
I like money. I like money.
To quote my favorite character from Idiocracy, yeah. I like money. I like money.
You like money too? We should hang out. That's
awesome. Like money.
Wait a minute. Do you mean we all like money?
You mean water from the toilet? You mean water like from the toilet?
Oh god, that movie's becoming a documentary, isn't it? But guys, make sure to Bobby Quarters, Ashlene, Organized Chaos podcast, and of course Organized Chaos. Party on and be excellent to each other.
Take care and don't shine green lasers at flock cameras.
No.